Good.
That's good. Hey, everybody, it's May 6th, 2015. Don't forget, Sunday is Mother's Day.
Mother's Day!
I know. Is it Mother's Day in Canada?
Yes, it's one of those holidays that's the same day.
Because I know you do your Thanksgiving a month before.
And you know what's weird? Greek Easter.
What? Greaster?
Greek
What
Easter?
what is Greek Easter?
From my understanding, and I'm almost 50 years old on this planet, Greek Easter is usually 2 weeks after regular.
Is it Orthodox Easter?
Yeah,
like
but not just. I think just Greek Orthodox Easter.
Greek,
So
not Orthodox. Greek Orthodox.
There's different Orthodoxes. So it's 2 weeks
Which
after normal Easter, except for when it's 1 week after, and every 25 years when it's the same. No, every 7 years that it's the same Easter, or the 25 years that it's the day after.
And then you get a 2-for-1 after the 27 years.
I made up the last one. I still don't get it. I have to call my mom.
It's like a
every
punch.
year
It's
and
like
say,
a punch card.
When's Easter this year? And she'll tell me. And I'm like, wait.
She'll say, "You are a bad Greek."
Yeah, because I am. But so yeah. Aside from that, we have the Canadians have a different Thanksgiving.
Right.
And they
I understand that was more weather related, like easier for families to travel across the country.
Kill a turkey?
No, to like drive somewhere and
Right.
and get together. Less chance of
Right. Wait a minute. No, it's not a weather thing because New York has the same weather regularly, usually as say Toronto.
Yeah, but we're not nearly as practical and flexible as you guys.
You mean you don't wear long underwear?
No, we do, but I mean, like we're like, that's tradition. We've always done it that way. And Canadians are like, hey, why fuck around in the snow? Why don't we just do it a month earlier?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, great idea.
Well, then why walk around in the snow? Let's have Christmas in October.
Right. Well,
Let's do all of them in the same week.
yeah, just have like a month off in July. Go trick-or-treating one night and have a turkey the next night and then give presents the day after
And
that.
then the tree's only up for one day.
And then light fireworks.
Beautiful.
That sounds like a good month off to me.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Okay, well, Phil and I have come up with a new plan. Guys are welcoming you back to the show, Phil. Especially Morning Sausage Man, which is one of my favorite handles.
Yeah, man, that handle is crazy.
Could you explain that to us, Morning Sausage Man? I'm not quite clear on what it means. He just likes to have processed meat for breakfast? Is that?
That's what it is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or do you think you need to go any further into it? That's the thing.
It's just water, trust me. Well, anyway, so we're welcoming Phil X back to the show because last time you were on, Phil, I got a lot of praise about the show. And a lot of people who are really, really thrilled that you came on and they got to talk to Phil X, who's not Phil X selling gear or blowing it out on
But
stage.
the person.
But the dude, totally. Oh my God. And, but, I did get some complaints.
Yeah.
And so I think we have to address those complaints
Yeah, okay.
right now, which was, damn it, I tuned in to see Phil X and he didn't play guitar very much.
Yeah.
And because you have so many fans of your guitar playing, that I did have some guys that were disappointed that you didn't throw down.
Yeah. We'll have to throw down.
So in honor of that today, we have a Friedman Phil X model amp right here, and Phil is playing the Phil X model Framus
Yes.
guitar. Phil is taking a new policy that he won't play any gear that's not named after him. So
And all my shirts have to have
you have a little tag.
and a little on the tag.
Yeah, it says Phil XL.
Which is funny because when you
It's
do
great.
a big tour with a big band and
Yeah.
you got a girl that does wardrobe and laundry,
Yeah.
she labels your underwear.
Oh, like your mommy at camp.
Yeah, it was very flashbacks.
Wait a minute, you have someone that washes your undies on tour?
Who wears undies really?
Well, I was going to say that's not very rock and roll.
That she labels them.
Yeah, you don't wash them.
Okay. Forget boxers. She labels her socks.
Oh, gotcha. That's right. Exactly.
She was awesome, actually.
Which I would assume you do wash.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, we thought it'd be fun today. And then Dave is actually in the shop today, which he's usually not here on Wednesdays. So we're going to coerce Dave to come out
And say hi.
and say hi at least. He said he's got some big project he's working on back there that's very time sensitive, so he couldn't come
He's trying
out.
to be done by. He's got a deadline.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we got to respect that. But you don't get Dave on camera very much.
Which I did last week. I saw him
Really?
do a.
A Sweetwater thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Sweetwater a few weeks ago and
And I
did
was like,
the thing.
whoa, Dave's on camera?
The enigmatic Dave
I felt
Friedman.
special because it was my amp.
It was your amp.
And Doug Rappaport was playing guitar.
Right. Doug's always
And
fun.
He's great.
Soulful guy.
Soulful, and the tone was. I was like, that tone's awesome. Hey, that's
I
my
should get
amp.
one of those amps. Wait a minute.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. And Doug's such a nice guy.
Oh, this
too.
is Rob here at Tone Merchants. This is his head.
Oh, Rob owns
That's
this one.
Yeah, because I don't usually sign the front of an amp, and
Right.
he asked for a signature and number one because this is amp number one. My amp
Is that amp number one, or is you just going like, we're number one?
We're number one.
Yeah.
And my amp is number 0.
Oh, so you're one better.
I got 0. He got 1, and somebody got number 2.
Someone got 0.1.
Yeah, there's points too. 0.7.
Yeah. You got the first whole number.
Yeah.
All right, Rob. Well, anyway, we were playing it before you got here, and, you know, I don't know if you like the settings we have or not, but it was sounding great.
I mean, I'm sure it sounds awesome.
It's a Phil X amp. What could go wrong?
Well, and we should talk about. Somebody asked about what was the inspiration for this amp.
Well, let's go ahead and get into that, because, you know, this to me sounds like a Friedman amp, but me playing with it, it's got some really cool other vocabulary
Yeah.
that you don't think of with Dave. Like it throws a little wider net in certain areas.
Yes.
So what did you guys do? Well, tell us what the amp
See what
is
this
to
is.
begin with.
I'm gonna see. I just switched down the gain.
Stop. That's teasing us.
I know.
But what's the frame? It's a 100-watt amp, 50-watt
It's a
amp?
100-watt amp. My whole thing is, and it's the first time I met Dave,
Right.
which was around the same time that I discovered that I couldn't go anywhere without somebody saying,
Dave Friedman.
"Hey, it's Phil X!"
Oh.
from Frederick Americana.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is when I could be walking down the street and somebody drives by and screams my name.
When you met Dave, did he let you make eye contact with him at first?
No.
Oh, okay.
don't
I
look
was
at me.
gonna. Yeah.
So
talk
it
to
was
my
at,
assistant.
You know, at Lonnie's amp show.
Yeah.
It was the first time I met Dave, and I plugged into the Brown Eye and the BE100. Let's call it that, because some people get offended by Brown Eye.
Well, you have brown eyes. That's not a big deal. I mean,
And
I don't.
I plugged in, and I played something, and then turned the gain down, and then started playing again. And he goes, "What'd you just do?" I go, "I turned the gain down." He goes,
Did he throw you out?
"You are the only guy all week turned the gain down." People
Yeah.
just come in, they wind it out.
Right.
And
It's very forgiving when
And
you wind
he,
up that
as
game.
an
Yeah.
amp maker, he said it's refreshing to see somebody turn the gain down and really want to hear the amp.
Right.
And I'm
You know what I'm
like,
going to do? I'm going to move this a little closer because I think we're not getting a lot of signal. Sorry,
and
fellas.
that's cool. And that was really funny to me. And he goes, "You should come by the show and really crank it up where there isn't a lot of people standing around and stuff." So I came by the
Right.
showroom and the store, and
Uh-oh.
it's a cute little spot. But
It is. I messed up the camera. Hold on.
Dave was very. Oh, look at you.
That's not what he wanted.
What happened to the
A delicate balance.
What happened to the camera? Oh, it's I pulled the mic cord.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what had happened. Yes.
We'll edit this out.
Okay, so, and Dave was very, "Hey, you know, when are you playing next?" I go, "Well, I don't have a gig for a while, but I'm rehearsing with my band this week."
And
he
your
goes,
band is the Drills.
The Drills.
Right.
And he said, "Well,
who are fantastic. by
why?
the way.
Oh, thanks."
Yeah.
He said, "Why don't you take the amp?" I'm like, "Okay." So I take the amp to rehearsal, and was completely blown away.
Yeah.
I was blown away at how it responded to my hands. Like if I wanted to hit it light, it sounded one way, and if I hit it hard, it sounded another way, and it embraced my playing. Mm-hmm. So I embraced the amp.
So it cooperates with you instead of you having to cooperate with it.
Well, I believe like you have to play amps. Like if I plug into a plexi and I don't have an overdrive pedal,
Right.
I have
You gotta
to
work it,
I have
yeah.
to think about, okay, you can't hit it hard because it's not going to like it. I have
Right.
to play lighter,
Right.
and that's weird for me to get into that mode. So, but it takes me, maybe a song or something, and then when I have it, then I can start playing the way I
Yeah,
play.
you just subconsciously start adjusting to it.
But I don't think enough people do that. They just plug into anything and just play the way they play and figure it's going to.
Yeah, they do their thing and go, oh, I hate the amp. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
Right.
It's-
So,
my
but,
pickup truck won't drag race very well. Well, maybe you should get a car that races.
right. So, but the amp totally responded to everything that I threw at it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. So, I talked to Dave again, and he said, well, why don't we do, if you were going to have a head, what would make it different? And this is just to throw out, people are like, what happened to the evil robot and stuff like that. And I have to throw in that was,
It's a different thing.
it's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
When I go on stage,
Wait a minute.
I love
Are you
to
saying
have,
that you can like more than one amp?
What? Do you eat burgers?
You
every day?
have to pick. You can't say I like this amp and that amp.
So, and the evil robot for me was supposed to be a replica of my Tone Master, which I recorded a lot, and it's been on a lot of records that I've worked on, and it's just falling apart. So it'd be nice to have something that can come close. So
Right.
that was the evil robot. I would never take an 8-watt amp and go do a gig.
Right.
I like having a Marshall behind me,
You like some-
rocking out, right? Some balls. So, and on occasion, I've used, like, we played at House of Blues sometimes, and I'd use the Friedman and the Evil Robot head into the same cabinet, not stereo, just blend them together.
Yeah.
And that for me was like, oh my God, now I'm getting everything I've ever wanted.
Get a lot of texture there.
A lot of texture, a lot
Different
of
response
the spectrum
times,
is
everything.
really wide.
Yeah. That's cool.
And it's in the studio, I'm always using, the Friedman and something else, because you can blend and get different voicings and stuff, and
That's
it's
right.
awesome. But if I'm just doing, I go to the Viper room and just plug this in, and now with the second master channel, I can boost my own solos.
Right.
And that's an amazing thing. So that's the one thing. The one thing for me was, if when Dave said, what would make your amp,
What do you need? What's it missing,
If
right?
it wasn't this, what would it be? I go, definitely a second master. And he's like, what the fuck for?
Yeah.
And I'm like, please, you asked. And
Yeah.
then I want a gain cut. Because I don't, if I'm wound out and I'm doing Van Halen, I don't want to turn down the gain.
You don't
to,
have- right. You don't have to
get,
reach and
to get
tweak.
AC/DC.
Right.
It's got to, because that changes your low end, it changes everything. But if I have a switch,
Right.
then it keeps
Just gain it
all the
down.
same properties, just gain
Right.
down. So and then after a couple of different takes on that, we came up with the one that worked. And
Can you run us through the 3 different gain levels?
yeah, man.
I'd like to hear it. It sounds great on paper, but
On paper,
okay, let's
this is okay. In the middle is the
standard.
standard rock and roll. Now I don't know if we're gonna hear the broad changes because this is a higher output pickup.
Right.
But you will. We got the gain, it looks like it's at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So this is your high gain mode. Or let's do it right and do like the same riff over
Okay.
and over.
Sure.
And
We'll have a fair sample.
A fair sample.
We're not fooling you here. Eddie doesn't use gain, KX and Rock says. That's right. Yeah, Van Halen stuff's not too dirty.
No, it's not.
It's easier to play with a lot of gain, but
It is!
right.
And that's why.
But that's not what Eddie did.
And that's what some people, even him, they like more gain now.
Well, we talked about this before. Even Eddie doesn't sound like Eddie in 1978. It's hard to duplicate
For him too, yeah.
for anybody. Yeah.
Okay, I've got my volume down, but you can see how dynamic it is as well.
Right.
This is a high output pickup, and it still cleans up beautifully when I turn down.
That's right.
So what's the riff going to be, man? I can't think of a good riff to showcase our gain structure.
How about, so the stuff we're talking about AC/DC and Van Halen, and what would be a higher
Okay, yeah. So obviously I could play Van Halen with the higher gain, and AC/DC with the lower gain, but it doesn't tell the story.
Well, I was thinking we could do like an AC/DC lick, hit all three positions real quick.
Whoa.
Do a Van Halen lick, hit all three positions real quick.
Right.
And then something modern, George Lynchy, over the top.
For the high.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so this is
Or maybe a drill lick.
this is the lowest gain
Right.
stage.
Okay.
Let's do 2 riffs. Let's do. And now we're not, the cat. By the way, for us, the cabinet's in another room with a mic on it, so you're hearing it better than we are.
Right. We just hear it like someone's playing
Is that-
next door. Yeah. I have the cans if you want to hear it.
No, then I look like a weirdo with cans on. All right, so
You got great cans.
Walk All Over You by AC/DC.
Right.
Change now or do a couple of.
Yeah, let's hear that with more gain.
Okay,
And just
this
see what it
This
does.
is going to be a little more gain.
All right. I hear a little more shoulder.
Harder to get through the door.
Right, exactly. Gotta turn sideways. Now we're going to add belly to it.
And then we're gonna go. This is the highest gain stage. So you hear
Right.
all this girth come up,
Oh, yeah.
and but it also compresses it just a tiny. bit.
Right.
And it sounds a little more.
The
open with
dynamics
other
change
side.
too. I hear.
Exactly.
So KMX Rock mentions mic'd perfect, and for that we want to thank Tom Abraham, who
Abraham.
drove over from Las Vegas to make sure we were mic'd up correctly.
Wait a minute.
I don't know.
He wasn't in town.
No, he drove over for you.
I love him more today.
Tom is the man. He is the sound man. He really is. I've never met anybody more professional and more capable. And I've met a lot of really good guys.
Yeah, you have.
But he's, not that I'm an expert, but
Right.
just in my pathway.
Well, I walked in. There's 2 mics on there and blended, and there's no phasing issues or anything like that. And I'm
It's-
like, all right.
Yeah.
Boys?
It's all good. Okay, cool. So let's go to riff number 2.
Riff number 2, starting at low. So,
Little Van Halen-y thing.
little Van Halen thing. Again, with the higher output pickup, it's going to be.
Right. We were doing Hot for Teacher last time.
I got to do the harmony.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Okay. Go jump into stage 2. Now, out of the gate, it was easier to squeal.
Right.
But when I started doing the harmony, it wasn't as clear. Like you hear
Sure.
the notes.
Gets a little
and-
more blended.
Yeah, it's a little more blended, which
Yeah.
is really cool. And
Yeah.
this is full on,
Yeah.
the full stage.
Yeah.
We're getting funny. All right. Love it.
Very nice. You can sing, Phil.
I think I'm gonna blow up the radio.
Just back off a little bit. It'll be good.
I was just paying a compliment. You can sing.
Oh,
No, you can sing. That's right.
got it.
No, I was giving him permission.
That's what I thought. It was permission to enter. All right. Whoa, that's another thing.
Permission to sing. Yeah.
Okay.
And this was the brown eye, so I'm just saying. Permission to enter.
Yeah,
But anyway,
there's all kinds of leads and rhythms that we could do. There's this really cool chuggy thing, which
Right.
you really hear the
maybe a
it's
drop
not
D
even
thing
chordal
or something.
Well, no, but it's like this is a drill song called "Kiss My Troublemaker."
Oh,
Well, and Troublemaker can be anything you want.
That's kind of suggestive, and
It kinda is.
It raised my eyebrow.
But it's all about taking a chance. Anyways, so this is the riff. So it's kind of like that. So that's the
Nice.
low. This is the medium.
Nice.
And this is for long.
Yeah, yeah. I can hear the dynamics change.
So, and the funny thing is I gotta
Yeah,
sing over
Phil.
that riff, man.
You got to sing over that?
I gotta sing
What
over
do you
that
sing
riff.
over that?
Okay,
Let's hear it.
Wow, I gotta open my mouth. Maybe we gotta move that mic into the other room.
Hallelujah.
I don't even know if I can do it right now. I haven't played
Just
it in a
look
while.
straight ahead. Look into the camera.
Okay. Now I need to what's the opening lyric? You lost yourself inside your sorrow.
This is totally one of these
This is
exercises.
gonna be the first note out of my mouth. You lost yourself inside your sorrow.
Yeah, baby.
You're stuck inside your head.
Nice.
Let your heart lead you tomorrow. Get that garbage from your bed. It's like an strapped to a bomb. And then it goes into the chorus, but I can't do that right now. Man. I'm surprised I did that.
I love that. Very
So-
nice, ladies and gentlemen. Phil X.
And here's the story, guys. If you know everybody's.
And it all started with a bouzouki.
And it all started with Bouzouki, man. And let's do Bouzouki.
Opa! Nice.
But I mean, the cool thing about Bouzouki and shit like that is like, is you're like, I always play Bouzouki with a cleaner tone.
Yes.
Because
You don't run
that's,
Bouzouki
that's
through
the
this.
trick, right? You got to be able to do like a. And this is me again, just turning down. This is my clean channel right here. This knob. And it keeps going, but I'm being all sloppy and shit.
I was gonna say I think you missed him.
I missed 3 notes.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
right there.
There's Tom. Tom, come say hi to everybody. We were getting compliments about the miking and the setup here.
Man, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi guys, you know me? Here, get in there.
Now come over here next to Phil.
In.
Well, you know what?
Buddy, let's get
You can come over this way.
I gotta go to the bank when I leave here. I'm gonna write it on my hand. You're like, no, seriously, this is bank because I gotta go to the bank after this whole thing. And
Oh, that's so good.
you know when you drive, what do you see? Your hand.
Right.
Bank. And it's.
I was thinking it was like.
one time.
Oh right, a bank.
One time I did a video after I wrote dog food on my hand because I wrote dog food on my hand, but it was really sloppy because it's on your hand.
Right.
And then I posted a picture like this, and somebody said, "Did you just get a tattoo of dog poo on your hand?" I'm like, "No, dog food, man. Come on." And it wasn't a tattoo; it's just a Sharpie.
Did
Yeah.
you write hospital on your airbag?
That's awesome. I thought more popcorn, but hospitals would probably be
More
better.
popcorn.
I thought
Diet Coke and butter.
right. I think hospitals a better plan.
Oh shit. That's funny. Frank Falbo is the winner for today.
Oh man!
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
morning sausage.
Yeah.
Morning sausage, man. Vocals on point as always, dude. Thank you so much. As opposed to that was really the first note up and up
Out of
there
his mouth today.
to come up out of my mouth today. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you for being, you know,
You got
favoring.
a little of that note right here.
Awesome. This is now Rob's head has Phil X spit on it.
It's got Phil DNA on it.
Well, it's more important than anything, right?
My DNA is in that amp.
If I text Rob right now and sorry, man, I spit on your amp, he's gonna
Right.
be great. I can charge more for it.
Yeah, exactly. Now I can sell it on eBay. has my heart and soul and DNA.
Just put a lock of hair burning
Yeah.
on a tube in there. Right?
Smells like chicken. Oh, that's funny. That's great.
Hello, chaps. Hello, Haas.
Hello. Oh, it's Hoss Thompson in the north of England. He's one of
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Willie,
Man.
I couldn't see today.
The
Did you
Reach.
change the font? I could actually see it.
Yeah, I made it larger.
It wasn't in my eyes.
They put a thing on there where you could double the
Yeah,
font.
my eyes are getting worse, so I'm gonna bring my. I said I was gonna bring my glasses next time, but no.
My eyes
With the
adore
amp out
you.
and away. What? With the amp out and away, the vocal guitar mix is right on. Oh!
Yeah. So anyway-
Scrub Dog, thanks, man.
Tom Abraham is the one that drove in from Las Vegas just to mix the show today. So thank you, Tom.
That might be a fabrication.
See, I told you he was in town.
I said Phil X is going to be on the show. He said, it's totally true. I have the text, God damn it.
I know. Every time I send you a text, you're supposed to delete it. No paper.
No, I thought that was just the pictures. Oh, anyway.
Okay.
That got awkward fast.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, I left it up to your dirty minds.
See what happens when silence happens? Awkwardness. All right.
And good night.
Thank you.
So let's go back to the amp.
Yes.
Because we're going down a dark alley.
I love this amp. I played through this amp one night for like 4 hours. It was awesome.
Oh, thanks, man.
Was it Rob's
you
amp?
got ears. It's your job
Well,
to have
they-
awesome ears.
Them still barely work. Yeah.
Yeah.
25
Wait,
years.
let's not tell your clients.
It's like 25 years of metal. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Hey, how come I can't hear your hi-hats? Tom question mics. This is a 122V and a Heil PR31, right?
PR30.
PR30, excuse me. And the Royer ribbon mic is going through an Avitas 1073.
It's about the mistakes of a 57.
That's what they want to be when they grow up.
Do you use them what?
And then the Heil mic is going through an API preamp.
API is wonderful on guitar.
Yeah, I like to mix the Neve and the API because the Neve is so smooth and elegant and kind of slow.
Yeah.
And then that API is just like right up your chin, you know. So you put them together, you kind of get the beginning and the end
That's sweet.
of everything.
That's a nice description as well.
You think it's correct?
It was
pretty-
majestic the way you did it.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys are sweet.
Sorry.
No, just to me, because like an API sounds great, but you're kind of missing a little bit of the legato element of
Right.
things. And a Neve is really elegant and smooth, but you're missing a little bit of
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
Here's
You're
a
right.
question: with the 121, do you like the logo out or in?
Well,
Oh, it's less gain on the other
well,
side.
actually, they
Yeah.
don't sound exactly the
I
same.
know.
The A.
That's
Yeah.
that's why I asked.
It depends. The logo side is a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
It's hotter too, isn't it?
So do you like that logo in or
It
out?
depends on the tone.
Okay.
You know, I would start with it logo facing the speaker.
Okay.
You know,
And if
because
it's-
in the
And that's
end,
what we're doing in
if you're
here.
doing- if you're doing like pop rock or stuff,
Yeah.
you almost invariably end up high shelf from the guitar,
Of course.
and so you might as well start with having to do that less.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Of course.
because I mean, even live,
Well, I mean,
I-
yeah, for live, if you got a guitar player that has a lot of bottom end, and well, I'm not really.
Well, the
I really
problem-
got to boost the bass. guitar.
I'm not a fan of ribbons live, mostly just because
Oh, yeah, you can't.
you got a mic face. Now you have a mic facing the wrong way,
Right.
picking up the entire stage.
Everything, yeah.
And it's not quiet.
So Haas Thompson is saying Tom is the man. I totally mentioned his bass technique to a couple of soundies and got great results from the last time you were on the show.
Cool.
Nice.
Tom came and just did a general Q&A with guys like
Killer.
if you're in a club and you're a small band, here's some basics that you
Yeah.
should know to make sure you sound good. And
Yeah, that's great.
that a lot of guys don't know, and someone with his experience and the level of rigs that he works with. You
Well,
know,
the other thing is too is you know, like this is LA, home of a million clubs with a million bands playing 5 times a night.
Yeah.
And sound guys that end up hating their jobs.
Right.
And-
Miserable.
and get lazy.
Yeah.
So.
Or their ears
and
are
you gotta-
burnt from working 4
and
hours
you feel
every
like
night.
you need to like cater to them, but they're supposed to cater to you.
Right.
Right.
So I know my.
There
what
is
my
the
rig sounds like.
stereotypical LA sound man,
know.
like, hey man, this
Yeah.
is my stage. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, we're actually the band.
And I love
Yeah.
when a guy is giving you attitude, and then
Yeah.
your band kicks so much ass that he gives you a card when you're done. But you like, hey, thanks for the card,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
I was really lucky.
I don't have a bird cage to put this in anymore, so I'm just gonna throw it away.
Back whenever I was sitting there, whenever that was.
Yeah.
Remember I kept referring back to the club that I worked at.
Yeah.
It's like that. It was during a great era with a bunch of guys who all still do this professionally,
Right.
work for huge bands.
Yeah.
We just happened to have an amazing bunch of guys working at the club.
That's awesome.
At that time, and it wasn't in a place. It was in a small town,
Right.
A smallish town,
Okay.
Syracuse. Because
Oh, yeah. I remember Syracuse.
You're from Toronto, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Buffalo, Rochester.
Of course,
Syracuse.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was the Lost Horizon in Syracuse, and so you didn't have that big city.
Well, it's a college town, right?
We
Right.
loved working there.
Yeah.
We couldn't wait to go to work and get drunk and mix rock bands.
That's
you know,
awesome.
it was so much fun to us.
But you know what?
You
In
know?
Syracuse, even in Syracuse, you probably had bands coming in that worked on their craft. And
Well,
that-
we had
Yeah.
we had local bands play, but that's also, I remember, you know what's funny? I remember doing Bon Jovi there. when the EP came out.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
So either-
There was maybe 30 people there.
I think I might have played there with Aldo Nova in 1991.
Very possibly. I was not. At the
Life
club
is just
at
a
that point.
fantasy.
Do it, Phil. do
I
it.
worked at the club. I'm gonna say 84 to 89.
Wow. So
is
we
when
came
I
after
worked
you.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went on tour in 89. And
Awesome.
then obviously didn't work at a club at that
Yeah.
anymore after that point. But it was a great club because not the place was a shithole, but
Whoa, easy
Wait,
there.
they're
Hey,
amazing.
hey, hey.
Can I
you
just?
know?
I don't want
have to
lawsuits
say
on my show.
Even in Canada, when I was in my cover band and we were driving to all these little towns to make money, you do like 3 nights or 2 nights and 3 45-minute sets.
Right.
And the guy had 157 and he put it on the snare. And he put like this Radio Shack turn on off mic on the cabinet. And this is exactly the dialogue. Hey man, do you got another 57 for my amp? And he, quote unquote, said, well, I'll take it off the snare, but you better be good.
I gotta remember that.
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure, man. I mean, that's not really
And he was
fair.
one of those guys that gave me all this attitude,
Yeah.
that gave me his card. Hey, if you ever need a sound guy,
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna ever happen.
Yeah, you better be good. Right.
I gotta remember that.
Yeah, you
Oh
have
my
to. That's one of those lines that
God, I'm sorry.
was so many years ago that I will never
There
forget.
was this, this just reminded me of an amazing story that I absolutely cannot tell right now, and it's terrible.
Okay, you can
thing
tell us
to
after.
say, But I gotta tell you afterwards.
I mean, this
Tell us after.
is HBO. You can
But
say
No, you
anything.
can't. This is
But
dumb.
okay, I know what.
Oh, it's
what I
offensive?
was getting to before was I know my rig, whether what guitar I'm using and what amp I'm using. I know when I go on stage, I know what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So when the guy goes on the talkback after a couple of chords, and he goes, "Yeah,
Did we change everything?
Yeah, it's not right." And I'm okay. I know.
It's not right.
Okay.
That's fine.
Is your EQ flat, or do you have your EQ on from the guy before?
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
guy had no mids, and this guy had to boost all the mids, and then I got mids, and he's leaving the same setting. It's gonna sound like
Usually,
shit.
what it is they don't want to do anything.
Right.
I go, can you flat out your EQ? And he flats out the EQ, and there it is.
Right, he goes,
oh,
One of the
yeah.
One of the most
Sounds great.
frustrating things I deal with now is when the band brings me to a television show
Right.
because it makes them feel better that I'm there. But
Yeah,
I can't
good.
touch anything. I can't do anything. You know, all the big TV shows you see maybe late at night. It's
Yeah.
a union gigs. I can't do it. I can hang out in the room and read tape up. And that's pretty much what I do. I
Right.
can go to eat all the Twitter
Yeah.
or some, craft services.
That's right. You used to hang out with our friends over here at Leno all the time. I saw you sitting in the booth there when I went there with customers.
And you can't
be
even
like, "Hey
whisper in
man,
the
what are you
guy-
doing?"
And you can't even whisper in the guy's
Well,
ear.
and then what you try all day to be like the nicest, funniest, to get one thing. To try to get one.
Yeah, you have to kiss his
I
ass
have
to
I
get
have to
this.
pick my thing. I'm like, what in this song do I need? I need the guitar, something, whatever, to happen during this one moment, and spend all day kissing this guy's ass to give me one fader.
Yeah.
In 2 seconds.
Right.
Just let me do it.
Right.
Just, and try little tricks to like get him to patch it down here so he can't reach it. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm down here, I'll do it for you.
Oh my! I have to shake your hand
Or
for that
make,
one.
make it sound like it's his idea.
That's awesome.
You know,
That's
like-
really good.
That's
dude,
awesome.
I'll do it for you, man. Because I mean, you're down here. You got a lot going on, and like, I'll do it. Because oh my god, dude, it's a nightmare. Because they don't.
I hope he's watching.
They want. Oh,
I really hope he's watching.
Oh, they're all done now. They're all retired. Yeah.
They
All the Leno
they
guys
don't want
retired.
anything to be different from the previous band.
Right.
They want to be able to just push their faders up and collect their incredible paycheck.
Well, they also get this sense of
there's certain
ownership
shows
of the
that wear
room
those
that's
And they're
exaggerated.
happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I did Leno with Rob Zombie, and I thought, are these people for real? They're like the happiest
Oh, yeah.
I've ever met in
Right.
my life.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? And out of all those TV shows you do, Leno's one of the least worst. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're one of the easier ones to deal
Yeah.
with.
Well, those guys were They didn't work for NBC. They worked for Jay.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the NBC employees were the disgruntled ones walking around. Fuck. But the
But the guys that worked for
the
Jay-
important people, because Jay had his own Big Dog Productions or whatever, so he snagged them from NBC and made them his employees. And like I know the whole story when he closed down the show. Like he gave them exorbitant exit packages.
Yeah.
I mean, like for every year that you work there, you got 6 months of pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of thing. And it was just, and some guys have been there like 27
He had
years.
also been in.
you know.
I mean, if you actually get promoted to broadcast mix engineer, I mean, I would take that gig. It pays amazing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And he would promote.
It's not a stressful gig
So the
either,
guy who was
yeah.
mixing the bands live, what you heard, used to be the front of house guy in the room. So I appreciated the fact that he did take. You were able to climb up the chain there from wiring the stage,
Right.
and up being the mix guy,
Right, that's cool.
Instead of like just grabbing some hot shit.
Right. You got New York in your right ear telling
Yeah.
you what
Yeah.
to do, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool the way, and crap runs downhill, and that was all Jay.
Right.
You know.
Well, I
Well,
learned
it's far
something
from
else
perfect,
too,
but it was
because
nice.
we played. We were doing. Oh, this is what happened. Rob didn't have a band because he had just finished directing his first movie, House of a Thousand Corpses, and in the studio we covered.
Did you play with
Yeah.
Zombie?
Well, I have recorded on this record.
Oh,
too,
okay.
like Sinister
Is this
Urge,
pre J5?
pre J5.
Okay.
And
'Cause I did Manson with J5.
You played with
Wow.
Jackson?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
This is what I learned because we were on stage. I mean, we were doing the show and we did a cover of Brick House. So Lionel Richie joined us. So Lionel and Rob Zombie trading verses. It was pretty cool. And it was kind of cool. And then we had a rapper come in from Florida, and somewhere in this breakdown, somebody got lost. So we didn't come back in right, and we finished it. And my first time on late night television, bummed. And they're like, okay, hold on. Okay, we're gonna go again. And I'm like, you get to go again?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. So I
yeah.
totally.
Well, it doesn't go. The New York people heard the live one, but then you can
Well, no, we
re-record
shot
it.
at 4:00.
Oh, okay.
So it was going to broadcast that night. So
Oh,
yeah,
right,
of course
right.
you can.
Oh, that's right, because
shoot
Leno was
again.
live to tape.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
fixed guitar solos at Letterman.
Yeah.
You just
really?
got to do it quick.
Oh,
yeah.
You got about 7 minutes to do it.
Right.
You got to run downstairs, do it, flop the mix up again, and then whatever.
That's awesome.
But it's a very small window of opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Sorry, having lighting issues over here.
Okay, well, let's see what's happening here.
People are probably trying to
Damn.
say
You're
things.
Fixing the audio,
Accidentally.
even the video.
Nina soldering against a Sprague type
Like you're
accent.
relaying-
Okay.
Oh, that. Don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, or-
Yeah, you ruined the cap, Rick.
Something really.
Rob Taylor. Hey Phil, you still breaking heads off guitars doing windmills?
Oh boy. Into that.
Okay.
Well, there was a good question here. Hang on a second. Oh, Hoss Thompson in England. I once got you need the guitar up in the monitor sound he walks on stage next to me. You can't hear that? You've been standing too close to your amp. Okay. I think the sound man's telling him where to stand on stage.
Right, I would tell him where.
Oh, right. I once got you need to turn the guitar up in the monitor.
I got a lot of flack from the houseboard guy when I brought my own sound guy to a big venue. He complained to the promoter. Yeah.
Of course.
Well, being a sound man is a weird life, can be, and a lot of guys who aren't really good at it live on a
Well,
tightrope,
what?
you know.
Sometimes when you're a house guy, no one knows the room better than you.
Right.
And if you're in a two-level stage, I mean, two-level venue, when the sound guy's up here and the stage is down there,
Yeah.
and there's all kinds of bouncing around and stuff like that,
right. He's up in
your
the mess.
guy
He knows.
is going to be your guy could be completely lost in there.
Right.
Right.
So you got to
Thinks
pick
he's
your
making
fights.
it amazing,
Yeah.
and it's not.
And you walk downstairs, and the right guy walks downstairs here where it sounds like it goes back up. But those mids screw with your ears.
Oh yeah, dude.
Right, and plus your ears fatigue when you're doing
Yeah.
that. Like if you get a bad mix for a half hour and you're burnt, you got to walk away for an hour, 2 hours before you can hear straight again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we used to work at the club, man, having to sit there and mix for 4 hours, and you're like 20 feet from the PA.
Yeah.
Dude, it was brutal.
Yeah, I mean my ears go brown pretty
That was
quick.
that was in the era of Stormtroopers of Death, Overkill, Anthrax, and those are the kind of bands we were doing.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
and in a club that size, Manowar,
Oh my
you
God,
know,
that's hilarious.
because it was
That's awesome.
sort of a metal club.
Right on. Phil, any funny Aldo stories you can tell
Nothing I
on
can
the
tell
air?
on air.
He was very dry. It was a dry, no funny. There's no humor.
It's just there's no clean humor.
Oh, you don't have to be clean.
Oh yeah.
That's okay.
Wait, no, there was actually. Okay, this is a guitar thing.
Yes.
So we're doing.
I'm sorry, it's a reflex.
Whoa! So at the end, Aldo's like, "Hey, why don't we do the dueling thing?" He had a thing for dueling, guitar dueling.
Yeah.
He goes, "Why don't we do the dueling thing? At the end, I'll take a thing, and then you take a thing, and then I'll take a thing, and then you take a thing, and then we'll end it down the road." I'm like, "Cool, all right." So I was 23, you know, tight leather pants and lean and ready to explode. So when somebody says, "Let's do a dueling thing," I'm going to explode. But we were doing the dueling thing.
Yeah.
And the first night that we did the dueling thing, he came up to me and he did this thing and he's doing his thing, and then I ran across the stage to do my thing. I ended up taking off, and then
like,
he gave me shit.
Yeah, what the
He's like,
fuck? Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, we're dueling. It's face to face. You know, like on guard. You know, like dueling.
Look it up, man.
I shred look at you. You shred look at me. You don't run across the stage."
You were not authorized for your own power slide.
That's right.
Right.
No.
Next time you get a 10-foot cord, and
And then I'm
that's
like,
it.
okay, let's try it again tonight. So we tried it again, and night we go on stage, and he goes, "Remember, duel." And I'm like, "Okay, I got it."
Wait a minute, what's a duel?
So we're soloing over this. I keep screwing that up.
I like your version.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
So he's doing his,
Right.
and I did this like a, and then he was like, the look on his face was like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
But he didn't come up to me after the show, and he and say,
Hey man, could you
"You,
not play
you
something?
bastard."
Yeah.
He came up to me and he said, "Show me that lick," which was really
I
awesome.
think you say like he had the manager come talk to you. So when you're dueling,
Yeah.
you maybe don't want to
Don't
rub
play as
the
many
boss's
notes.
dick in the dirt
Yeah,
like that.
right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny, and then I showed him the lick, and then he tried to do it in the next duel,
Right.
And he didn't. It was mission not accomplished.
I had a friend of mine that
But it was funny.
had a friend of mine. I won't say his name to keep him out of trouble, but I can say the artist's name, who used to play with John Fogerty.
Wow.
And you know, Fogerty is of a certain generation.
Yeah.
But he felt the need to have this 80s style guitar shred thing in the middle just to show that he wasn't that old.
Right.
And this is like 10 years ago.
Okay.
And at the time he was 60. And he's an old blues rock guy, a country rock guy.
Yeah.
But he had this one guitar with a Floyd Rose on it. And he'd come out in the middle and do this thing. And it was the same thing. And he had initially had my friend come out and they do it together.
Wow.
And it was the same thing, you know, where he kind of accidentally made him look really bad.
Oh, right.
And then like the manager, who's John's brother,
Yeah.
Bob, you know, like the bad Fogerty. And then he came over and said, "Look, man, you can't like embarrass the shit out of John on the stage." And it was the same thing. So then for like a month afterwards, he had to sit down and give him lessons, and they had this choreographed head cutting session, you know, like this rehearsed thing. But no matter but he always had to adjust to where John was that night. So like if John couldn't pull it off, and he had to downshift, and you know, and like
That's funny.
Thanks, KX.
yeah.
By the way,
It was funny.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, another more compliments for Tom. Tom's sound is so big at low volume, killer. Sounds like a recording. That's why we get the pros in here.
Thanks, man. That sounds like.
Yeah.
Remember the flame top that was on that album cover?
Yes.
You know who ended up with that guitar?
Who?
Me.
What?
Stop.
Are you
Small
serious?
world.
Come on.
You know who?
You guys tobacco burst?
Yeah, the flame. Well, it was cherry-ish.
Yeah.
It was kind of in between. It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Very much like that.
Wow.
It ended. Here's the. You know Don Roser, right? Buck Dharma,
Yeah.
Boy Scout.
Love
A
him.
good friend of mine. And
I just did. Wait. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just did a rock and roll fantasy camp in March.
Oh, really?
And it was Blue Oyster Cult and Cheap Trick.
Oh,
and
really? Oh, my
Buck
God.
is
My two
amazing,
favorite
man.
bands, like-
Not only did he come up and jam with us when he
He's a
didn't
great player.
have to,
Yeah.
he joined us for a bite after.
He's a sweet guy. Yeah, he
Yeah.
comes to our NAMM booth every year and hangs out.
Awesome.
Really nice.
And it was funny because he came up to me, and I don't think these guys know who I am.
Yeah.
But he came up to me and, "Man, I've been watching some videos, but, you know, we did Funk 49 that night, and I sang it." And he goes, "I didn't know you could sing like that."
Yeah.
It's kind of cool when you hear somebody like that. You're
Yeah.
like, Dude, you did.
Yeah.
Reaper.
Yeah, I engineered his. He had a side band called the Red and the Black, which
Yeah.
is the name of an old BOC song, and I engineered the. It never got signed or got a deal, but I engineered all the demos for it
Yeah.
back in upstate New York when I still lived there. He ended up with that guitar,
And you know why? Do you know that part of
and
the
then
story?
I got the guitar from him.
Well, Aldo wrote "Take Me Away" and produced it.
Yeah, right.
So that was the connection. Hey, wait, you were like on pitch, just from memory.
Yeah.
Maybe a little sharp, but
Yeah.
I'm impressed even more now.
Maybe your guitar's a little flat.
Basically, what happened was is Don kind of owed me money for the session, but I was eyeballing that guitar the whole time.
Wow.
I'm like, well, $500 in that guitar, and we'll call it. Wow. So I got it for $500.
Dude.
Nice.
Well, and your time.
Well, yeah, but dude, it was Don Roser soloing right here next to me.
Yeah,
I
that's cool.
paid.
Yeah, of course.
And then I was like, I was at the kid at the BOC shows going,
Yeah.
and now he's standing next to me soloing. I was just like, this is not real.
Yeah.
This is not really happening.
And he's such a great, and it's funny too, because when you listen to the solo of "Burning for You," I'm like, dude, I had to learn that solo for a sound. Nothing, it's like a sound alike.
Right. For a Nevermind.
Solo once,
Yeah.
and man, it's crazy. He goes, well, let me tell you right now that was a bunch of solos comped together. Well, that explains everything.
Yeah, right. Now you
I
tell
told
me,
him
yeah.
when they comped the solo, I said, I just want you guys to know that I'm never playing it like that live.
Right.
Some of the things are jumping from one thing to another, and it's impossible.
This is impossible
like a
and will
seven-
never
Tough
happen.
was I was a baby engineer at this point.
So that's really cool.
And Don had been used to being like with Tom Werman
Yeah.
and who did and Martin Birch and
Yeah.
all that.
Oh, wow,
And I was a kid. I did not have I would have just out of college.
Yeah.
I did not have those kind of tape cutting skills and that kind of stuff, and he was used to that.
Yeah.
So I was mortified. I was terrified because like he wanted to do that. He wanted to comp solos like that on an analog 16 track.
Wow.
And I'm like, crying, Mom. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. But those are those moments when you rise to the occasion because you have
Oh,
to.
you have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
That's
Can
right.
you do that? I'll go,
Yeah.
never done it before in my life. Yeah, I do it.
Absolutely.
I was just doing that last week. Hey,
Do you make fuzz boxes? Actually, I got one right here. I don't
yeah.
know what I'm doing though.
Give me until this afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have one for you. It's like the watchmaker joke. You heard that? The guy goes, "Oh, I went back to my hometown 20 years later. I left a watch to get repaired." And he goes to the guy. He's like, I left a watch here 20 years ago. Is there any chance it's still here? He goes, "Yeah, what's the name on it?" He goes, "Johnson." He goes, "Oh, yeah, Johnson tomorrow at 2."
Did you write it on his hand?
Right, exactly. Well, we're getting close to running out of time, so I think
Already?
to avoid the or internet abuse that I get, I think I'm going to demand that you play some more guitar, and in the meantime, I'm going to see if I can drag Dave out.
Yeah, go get Dave.
So can you just be on your own to like, let it fly for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thanks.
You need your little guy.
I need my little guy.
Sanchez? Is
My-
that what he was?
Dirty Sanchez
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him in there. That
Yeah.
guy was carved out of pine. But you know who Stephen McSwain is?
I don't think so.
He makes those really cool, amazing metal top guitars with like gauges and lights. And if you've seen a guitar with a cool gauge in it, whether it's Slash playing it or anybody else, it's usually made by Stephen McSwain.
Okay.
He's an incredible guitar builder.
Right.
But anyways, I go, dude, I need something in the P90 pickup cavity of that guitar, and he was like, give me a day. And he carved the Dirty Sanchez face out of a piece of pine and made the eyes glow and everything like that, and we stuck it in there, and I'm like, that's got to be one of the coolest things
Yeah,
I've ever seen.
it's great. I love it.
Yeah,
It's
so I'm
cool.
again, I'm definitely gonna throw that in a Framus.
So the enigmatic Dave Friedman is continuing the enigma. He is heads down in the back of a giant board back there and says he doesn't have one free minute.
Yeah.
So that just means you'll have to come back again.
I'll have to come back again, and we have to play a little more so you don't get harassed.
Dude, the abuse is hard. My therapist tells me to ignore it.
Wait.
But yeah, baby. Nice. Phil, I got to say something out loud that I think a lot of people think when they watch you play, that it's really, really fun to see someone who appears, at least, to be like a little kid enjoying what they're doing. Like, you seem to have such a pure sense of joy when you play guitar, and I find that really, really refreshing, but it makes me happy to do that.
That's sweet.
No, I mean, it's true, and I think a lot of guys are maybe they're afraid they're going to sound gay if they say that.
Now you're like making yourself look good. I'm like, I'm just
no homo.
No, I mean it in the like the cool.
I'm not gay or anything, but man, I got a man crush on you.
No, I'm just saying like NASCAR and guns and like that kind of.
Race cars, of course.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, well, you know what?
I wanna shoot things.
I try. People are like,
No, but you really do. You enjoy what you're doing, unless you're an amazing actor.
I'm a terrible actor.
Because, like, when you're...
I have a terrible poker face, too.
The minute you start playing, like, I can see you, like, check out the little dissonant thing I'm going to do here, and it's funny, it's cute, it's entertaining, and you throw it in there just for entertainment value, but the look on your face is like, yeah, this is awesome,
I think part of it is, like, for some musicians, this is all something we're doing together. Like, well, look at what we're doing.
Right.
Instead of, I'm doing this to you.
Right.
And you don't have a thing that I'm doing this to you.
Or
to me, I agree
guys,
with you. I think the community is so important. Yeah.
But guys,
you don't have that in your aura.
So many guys that can.
Well, thank you.
So many guys that can throw down like you can. That's all right. So many guys that can just totally throw down like you can. I think they feel like they got to look tough. You know what I mean? Like, they got to look. They got to do this. Oh, fuck you thing.
Right.
And you're like, no, look at this. This is awesome. Like.
Well, you know what it is. I'm that. I do that when I'm an audience. In the audience.
Oh, I've seen you play.
No, but when I'm in the audience and I watch something, and where a lot of people like their chin hit the ground when you see somebody play something that you've never seen before at an impossible speed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah,
like I laugh. I can't help but
it's like this
entertained.
It's like this
completely when I see something that blows me away.
Youthful exuberance that you have about it.
Well,
it's
thanks,
so
man.
cool.
I am 100, so yeah.
It's metric. But
it was the same joke last time. I think I cracked the same joke last time.
Exactly.
We're repeating ourselves.
Tip your waitresses and try the veal. Or try the veal or tip the veal. Try your waitresses. No more bonus frets between the pickups, Phil. I don't know what that means.
Okay, you know what that means?
Tell me what that means.
And
do you have a guitar with frets up here?
There's a record by a Canadian band called Frozen Ghost. And this is when I was a real lunatic.
Yeah.
I had a Floyd Rose.
As opposed to now you're my mind.
I'm less of a lunatic. I had a Floyd Rose, and I couldn't manage the bar. And I had to sing, and anytime I went for my volume, the bar was in the way, or if I was singing and I wanted to use the bar, I couldn't because I could never find it.
Yeah.
So I took a piece of chair from my dad's restaurant that was like, and bent it into this arm, and I called it the flipstick, and I got a patent when I was 17 and everything.
Did you really?
But it didn't pan out. I mean, I got the patent, and the patent's expired. Anyways, it was just one of those things where I could do this, and I could get it always in the same place, and you couldn't do stuff like that kind of thing, right? But what you could do was I would do it with my knee.
What?
So I would do actually, you got to look for the Phil X.
Is there video
Flipping
of
Out
this?
1989.
Okay.
People are like, what's with the knee? And I'm like, I'm using the bar. And then they look again and they go, oh my God, you're using the bar with your knee. Anyways, the whole thing on the Frozen Ghost, Nice Place to Visit record.
I remember Frozen Ghost.
See, because you know Buffalo, and we crossed the border.
Yeah.
Not too far though. Maybe
The
Syracuse.
Salty Dog.
Probably.
Penny Arcade.
Yeah.
Penny Arcade.
Definitely played. That was in
Rochester.
Rochester, yeah, we played there. So, man, that's really we're geeking out over geographical things.
We'll leave you guys alone for a minute.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so
It's not another game
to
reference,
take
I'm
it,
saying.
the song was in A.
Yes.
Someone's gonna say, "Please do the solo." I could probably do parts of the solo. Wait, so I had
Self-fulfilling.
a Floyd Rose string retainer
Yeah.
down here, tuned to A.
What?
Yeah, so it was around there somewhere.
Right.
Okay, so the solo starts with this, but it sounds like, because there's a
Right.
fret now that is a spring.
Yeah, it's a clean note. Yeah.
So it's like, and what I did, so the guy goes, "I just want madness in the solo." I'm like, all right. So I started the solo with like that. No, actually, that was later on. I was doing a trill on this
Yeah.
note, and then using the bar. So
Yeah, right.
and the solo was kind of like, wait, oh, I gotta remember now. Let me get that cleaner. Wait.
They let you say wait in a solo?
I forget it now. Now I'm doing all these
Canadians
I can't
are
even
so
remember
loose and
anything.
free,
Okay,
yeah.
everybody talk while I figure it out.
Right.
No, talk amongst yourselves.
That's
It is
right.
a weird solo.
Yeah.
Right.
But then, so he's talking about the fret down here, where not only could I get a high A, I got a low E too. So I was doing this.
Behind the fret picking?
I was doing this down an octave up,
That's a patent.
and then I took the bar and brought it down with my knee, so it sounded like an
Right. Like a
octave up.
European siren thing.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, and then the bar went crazy, and everybody was like, "Wow, that was really cool." But anyways,
And there was much rejoicing.
there's I wish I could remember the solo.
That's okay.
Wait. That's it.
I really want to know what the song underneath it sounds like.
So it's like,
Right. Bandcamp. Right.
so that's going on, and it's crazy. So I gotta go listen to it. I'm gonna go. Maybe it's on iTunes. I
If you
probably
could have
isn't.
seen the face that he just made when he looked at me, it's too much.
It's on a playlist in his iPod called Chilliwack.
Right. Here's the problem. The problem is I couldn't
the-
execute it.
Do that face into the camera, like do what you just
Like-
did. No, but do it for them, like right into the little black box while you're playing.
I'm playing. I'm like.
Yeah.
See, next time I come on the show, I'm gonna nail it. Oh my god! Because I
Yeah, we got
totally did not.
homework.
I did not do it, and you could do this for me.
I'll do that. Can I?
We'll all
Yeah.
do it. We'll be like Molly Hatchet.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
3 guitars
Can we
plus
align our
one.
headstocks? We'll all do this together.
That's awesome.
No, it would be like the way that Bush called these when they did ME 262 and the drummer came out and played guitar too. So you had 5 guitars and a bass.
I'm imagining like
get
Big
some.
Bottom from Spinal Tap.
And this is okay.
Yeah.
Next time I come over,
Yes. Which
Not
one will
only-
that be? How soon can you come back?
not only am I gonna play the solo flawlessly, but I'm gonna bring the bar and the fret.
The thing is,
I gotta do
I
it.
love that, but I wouldn't know if you did it right or not. So
I don't know. I think a whole lot of people are gonna look for that song.
Okay, let's
wait.
do it.
Where'd you like?
Frozen
Okay.
Ghost. The song's called "Suspended Human Nation."
do your homework, guys.
The record was called "Nice Place to Visit." If you listen to that solo, I will become your favorite guitar player.
Did that band have a female singer?
No,
No.
but they had there was a song called "Promises" that we played live, and there was a girl that sang a line in it on the radio. That song was on the radio, probably in Buffalo and Syracuse and
Yeah.
Rochester But
It's hard to remember that.
I know, right? Yeah. See, me too.
I don't remember every solo I played in 1989, so I think you're doing pretty good.
It was probably 1987 too. It was before 1989.
It's even worse.
But it was that whammy bar. And
I don't
everybody
remember
was like,
solos I played last week. Yeah.
You know who's great? Wait, I have to. Can I promote somebody?
Please.
Wait, I have to look it up on my phone. It's pretty rad. This guy. I can't even. Okay, wait. It's called. It's on Twitter, and I retweeted it, so I'll find it easy. I did a. If you don't mind me talking about, there's Marty Schwartz who does guitar lessons for beginners on
Sure.
YouTube. He's a fantastic dude. I went on his show, and he switched to bass and brought a drummer in, and we jammed Funk 49.
Oh, nice.
Well, this guy, he did a lesson on an improvised solo. Here it is,
Wow.
Guitar Breakdown. Guys, go to Guitar Breakdown, check it out. He did, and then at the beginning, it's me doing my improvised solo, and he's like playing to it, and it's like I'm doubling me. But you know how hard it
Wow,
is
sure.
to do something that was completely improvised,
Right.
and learn it, and he's nailing it, and I had to, yeah, it was guitar.
Then you had to
Breakdown.
come in and do the exact same thing. And even though it was yours.
He put the video up,
Wow.
and I had to tip my hat to that guy because it's really hard to double somebody's improvised solo.
Marty Schwartz, you heard it here.
I couldn't even do it.
What's his website again? Guitar
Marty
Breakdown?
Schwartz is Marty Schwartz.
He's got a YouTube channel.
That's his YouTube channel, and
Guitar Breakdown?
Breakdown is the dude.
I've seen him do lessons or jams or something with Tim Pierce.
Marty Schwartz does, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So hold on.
Tim's been no to pick of you.
Speaking of Bon Jovi.
Yeah, right. She is a little runaway, huh? Dude, he nailed it. That's a great
Nailed it.
solo.
Who?
Tim Pierce.
Oh, was that him on
Yeah,
Runaway?
oh, that's him.
Oh, wow.
Out of
Yeah.
the park.
Tim Pierce.
What is the solo from that song? I can't remember.
Runaway?
Oh, shit.
Dude, come on. You
Oh,
should
great.
know it.
I think I played it a
You guys
couple of
play it?
times.
Play it.
Yeah.
You play it like
I'm
a-
just not.
Do you play the solo?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I didn't
Is it
start.
A
when I
minor
had to
G
learn-
F thing?
When I had to learn a whole bunch of stuff, I just kind of like
Yep.
fudged around some solos.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to nail the feel.
Tim's solo net is great.
It is great.
Yeah.
It's great. Wait. Wow. I gotta listen to that.
He does the same riff going up.
Wait. But there's one like the. Yeah, it's like it's awesome. And because think about when that song came out, which was '83.
Yep.
So he was doing some pretty
Yeah,
cool
that's
stuff.
Yeah.
when I was saying they were playing at the club.
Yeah.
That the Runaway EP
Yeah.
had just come out.
So was Richie wasn't in the band on
Richie
the first
was in the
record?
video, but when it was
Right.
recorded, I think it was Aldo Nova on keys.
Maybe.
Because this will
Tim-
blow your
Tim-
mind.
watch it.
It was Hugh McDonald who's on tour with Bon Jovi
Yes.
now.
Right, they're
who
bass player
played
now.
on that song.
Right.
So the band was
Tim Pierce
Hugh
is credited
McDonald.
as the
Yeah.
guitar player.
yeah.
Wow.
So Tim Pierce on guitar, Aldo Nova did the keys. I think I'm pretty sure because Aldo said, but you know.
Tim ended up as the guitar player for Rick Springfield, right?
Yes.
Right.
He was
And that was Neil Giraldo on the
If you
solo of
listen to-
Jesse's Girl.
Yeah, right.
And when-
He
and
did
then-
living in Oz, and there's some killer solos on that record.
Yeah.
Killer solos.
Yeah, but Neil Giraldo, there's another.
He's
guy who's
amazing.
fucking incredible.
I adored that guy when I first moved out
Because
here.
when you listen to the solo to Hit Me With Your Best Shot, and then you
Right.
listen to the solo to Jesse's Girl, you're like,
Right.
of course that's the same
It's
guy.
the same dude.
It's
It's the
weird
same
when
with
something like
Tim
that gets
Pierce.
pointed out to you, and you're like, "Oh my god, yes."
Same thing with Tim Pierce.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
somehow I came back to that Rick Springfield record. Like I heard it later.
And wasn't the story like
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's up? I'm like, that's Tim Pierce. Like I could tell it was Tim
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
I looked at the credits.
Yeah,
You know,
that's pretty cool.
just from those solos.
There's that thing, there's that essence, and in those guitar players, and I like to think of me. Not always, because sometimes I have to be a chameleon.
Correct.
Right.
But I've had people come to me and say, I heard this thing,
Right.
and I thought, oh my God, that's got to be Phil X. And then I looked at the credits, and it was you. And I thought, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool, flattering moment.
Yeah, you have a thing, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. I mean, especially the drills, which is funny because I do riffs, and we're musicians, so we're always looking for revenue streams. Hello, and so I put a bunch of I gave a library company a bunch of drill songs without just instrumental versions, and they were retitled and used in TV. So I'm getting, man, I don't know if someone ripped you off or I heard "I wish my beer was as cold as your heart" on this car show last night. I'm like, yeah, it was probably called something else, but
Yeah.
that's us.
I wish my beer was as cold as your heart.
Yeah, that's a great solo. Can I do that for the people?
Please, you can play whatever you want.
I get people always like, hey man, how do you do that solo? Because it's got that open string banjo thingy going on. I'm out. I don't know how.
Can you
I
give
haven't
us the
been playing.
basis of the tune so we know what you're soloing over?
Yeah, of course.
Kind of sing a bar or two.
Actually, these things are great because they don't have to be volume up. But it'd be cool if you just put a tuner on your head and everything you plugged into just...
Dave's got one on a guitar here that's around the pickup ring.
I know. Well, that's the Nags, right?
Yeah,
I think it's coming stock on Steve Stevens' model.
Those are really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
That
it's really...
actually works.
But I don't care what kind of tuner I use because when I'm in this... If I'm out of tune live, I kind of make a joke out of tuning. Like, I'll be like, shout at the devil, shout at the devil, shout at the devil, shout at the devil! And people are like, oh, we probably just blew up the microphone.
I love that.
So I'm going to tune down, though, because... Oh, by the way, this tuner, it's not a cosmetic thing.
Right, I noticed
These
that it's
are
longer,
a
yeah.
crazy... Takes a lot of turns to turn
Right.
ratio.
Right.
And this one is normal.
Right.
Because the first time they gave me a guitar, I went to do a dive bomb and didn't do anything. Like a quarter turn.
Right.
A quarter tone. So I go, hey, I do a lot of
little
dive,
lower
dive
ratio
bombs,
there,
man.
yeah, right.
So the riff that I solo over is okay, it's a drum break, but the riff in the song is. It's been a long time since I played some drill songs, man. Well, let's get some more. Let's go to this guy, Gain guy. So the verse is like. That's not it either. Okay. Yeah. Little freak of nature, little paint a perfect picture, mentally a deadly mixture of obsessive compulsive disorder and hate. I wanna know where the hell you're from. I can't believe what you become. Took my world and you tore it apart. I wish my beer was as cold as your heart. Yeah. Something like that, right?
Yeah, I love
So the
it.
solo is so wait, this is from obviously Hellcat, Yuli John Rock,
Okay, yeah.
Scorpions, 1970 or something. And
It's so
that's the solo.
so violent. And
It's
angry.
violent because I love that. I love moving it.
Right.
That you're sailing.
Oh my God.
I love. No, this is Hellcat is.
Records ever, Tokyo Tapes.
Oh, amazing.
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 Album. Amazing. Listen to it actively.
It's like. Hey, you and Perot.
We are here to rock you up, no?
There's the
Yuli
album
Rock is so
cover
good.
is so rock.
That's so rock.
It's Michael bent over
Oh yeah,
with
man.
the V.
Tokyo. Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
And the back cover is them all in kimonos walking across the street in Japan. It's the most 70s thing you've ever seen, but it's so wonderful.
In Trance, that was a great cut on the live record. There was some great stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But they did some songs. There were so many songs that they didn't do from the records that I was like kind of disappointed because I was
Yeah, because the
collecting
live
them all.
set was more like Robot Man and the real obvious like backstage queen like rock
Yeah.
and roll tunes.
Yeah.
And that's why basically Uli left the band, because they were definitely going in two different directions.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
But he was brilliant. But this is the thing, and I always have to mention, like, Uli Roth in 1973, where everybody else was playing, like, Jimmy Page was amazing.
Yeah.
And Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton, everybody was doing that stuff.
Right.
And he was, I think, the first guy that referred to violin as a direction that guitar
Right.
could go.
Sure.
So
More
in
classical
1973,
influence
he was
stuff.
doing like a... Wait. He's doing stuff like that.
Right.
And then you're like, wait a minute, what?
1973, so it was like with a Gretsch through a box amp.
Well, you knew he wanted to be Hendrix because he had the Strat and the Marshalls and,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
whammy bar. And,
Hendrix was the high bar then.
The
yeah.
crybaby stuff
Big
like
fifth-
that.
He had the huge whammy bar, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he was the first guy that had her,
Yeah.
and that was crazy. And then just the stuff that he did was just mind blowing. And it was, but you could hear his playing in other players. Like I could hear his playing in Eddie,
Sure.
and Yngwie, and a lot. There were a lot of people that were
Yeah, he was one
definitely.
of those players kind of guy. Like players knew who he
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
You know,
And
like
he totally ripped you off on the extra fret for the high A too.
For the what? Oh yeah,
The
for sure.
extra fret.
Oh, yeah.
Because he keeps going.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got like, what is it?
Yeah.
30 frets?
I don't know. Something.
I don't know what the
But he
hell.
has
30
some-
frets.
but he has somewhere the half step is omitted, so he's just like
Wow.
close. You
See,
know
because the thing is,
So, because
you
you
can
can-
Yeah,
barely
you can't
get
get
in
frets
there.
that close together.
Yeah.
You can barely get in there, so I'm like,
Yeah.
if it gets getting skinnier and skinnier,
Yeah,
but
he only has
Bazooka
like
is like
3
that
or
though
4
too.
frets beyond there, but they're scalar. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, that makes more sense. But why hasn't anybody done quarter tones?
They do, just not in the Western world.
I have
It's
a
all-
fretless guitar in the car.
Do you?
Yeah, there's a lot more than quarter tones on that.
Yes. But I mean, sometimes I can't. When music's really loud, and I heard someone asked me, a bass player asked me, I'm gonna get a bass. I'm gonna get a bass with quarter tones. What do you think? I'm like, dude, I can't tell when the bass is like flat. It's
Yeah, I know, exactly.
The sound wave is
Like
long,
you're
it's
not
short enough
you're
for
not
you
gonna.
to understand.
I'm not gonna understand. It at all.
Yeah, it's already messed up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This amp is loud. Yeah, this is a 100-watt EL34 amp.
Sounds a bit bassy. It could be bassy.
It could be your computer.
Hey.
Is that right now? What I mean? Is the amp loud? Oh,
No, that-
oh, is it loud?
No, it's on 2.5 or something now.
Yeah, we're not. This amp, and it's what's funny? It's like I'm so used to Marshalls that I have to really, when I look at the master, like when you have I have a really great Marshall from the '70s,
Yeah.
and when you go from 0 to 5, that's your 10.
Right.
5
It just
above,
gets dirtier.
It just gets
Yeah.
dirtier and more compressed.
Right.
This amp, it's
Actually
your
sweeps.
5 is like a
Yeah.
2 on a Marshall, but it keeps going up, and it's really awesome, especially with the 2 master volumes and finding this
Yeah.
sweet spot. This is my rhythm volume. This is my lead, and I might have mentioned it before, but I took this amp to play at the Baked Potato on Kenny Aronoff night, like Kenny Aronoff and friends.
Right, which is maybe a little bit larger than this room.
Yeah, there's like.
Yeah.
There's 2 shows and they're both packed and it's like 80 people just crammed in
Right.
there.
Like you drop your pick into someone's drink.
He
you
had a
know?
keyboard player, and I was sitting right behind. It was Teddy Z. I could like reach over and play a C chord if I
Yeah,
wanted
right.
to.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like right behind him. So they're playing, and then I get up and I plug into my amp, and I'm thinking, wow, this sounds awesome. But then when I go for a solo and I can boost my own solo, I'm not. I thought I'd be the only guy that would love that.
Yeah.
But the whole bar went.
Yeah. Oh, I can
And I'm
hear
like,
it.
hey, everybody likes it.
Nice.
I can hear the solo, man.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Very nice. Well, it's 1:30, so we should probably wrap it up, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Go get some food. Do you have time to eat?
I think I do.
All right.
Because I have a session after.
All right.
The working
man.
musician. You got it,
I
man.
like
You're
that,
working.
man.
Actually, what we're doing today is background vocals for the Drills record.
Oh, cool.
But I'm going to Dan's place, and because we usually record at my place, but he's like, hey, can you come to my place?
Oh.
And all I need to take is the microphone that we usually use, which is a Shure SM7.
Yeah.
And the hard drive. And I love recording today because you can go to a place and get a drum track
Right.
and leave with a stick, like a little flash drive.
Yeah.
What do you got in your hand? Drum tracks.
Or it's on your iCloud.
It's on my
Yeah.
it's in my Dropbox. Done that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
WeTransfer is
Totally.
now actually I think WeTransfer is better than Dropbox.
Is that the standard?
I think, yeah, Dropbox is kind of like, I find it unreliable sometimes.
Oh, you know what though? There's one thing you forgot.
Tell me.
You got to go to the bank.
You're right.
Or
I'm
is
going to
it-
get in the truck
or
and,
is it-
whoa, a bank, go to the bank.
It's the bonk.
Nothing's
Bunk.
touch the hospital one. That's priceless.
Yeah, exactly. Call 911
Yeah, call 911.
on your.
Let's address some other people before we call it.
Yeah. Let's see. The amp looks and sounds great. Great show. We're getting a lot of
Don't forget
compliments.
to go to the bank. Thank you.
Yeah. I bet that amp can move some air. I think when you turn it up, right now it's not that loud. I mean, you know.
YouTube.
Someone had asked something back here. You should check out Cenk Erdogan, an amazing fretless guitarist out of Turkey. Okay. Amp sounds tight. What cab and speakers? This is the Steve Stevens cab, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know which speakers are in there.
There's these.
There's
The
a.
top two or the bottom two are what's mic'd are V30s.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
The top
And
two are,
These guys are great. They had it all wired, ready to go when I got here. He was playing and he was plugged
Oh,
in.
yeah.
I was like, well, that sounds great. So it was easy. You guys made it easy. Thanks, boys.
no problem.
Hey, Phil, still love your version of Frankenstein.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm going to try to do that soon. I had a lot of fun with it. Because when I was a kid, I learned all these songs that had keyboard parts.
What is
Right.
the version
And
of,
I would play...
What's that on or from or what is?
Oh, no,
somebody know that?
because there's no... Because it's probably online on
It's
on
like on a
YouTube.
Wildwood thing.
That's a what?
Like there's a demo.
Did you record
No. It's
it?
on. It's from probably from a live show.
Oh, okay.
From Kitchener.
You do those keyboards too.
2009. Yeah, but aside from the line
show
and
some
solos,
Kitchener that's kind of produced looking.
it does look
the club
pretty, doesn't it?
show.
Yeah. There's two. One 2009, one 2010 or 11, and
You're playing through.
Rapoli
Rapoli
amplifiers.
amps,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
and they sound great.
Yeah.
There was one.
It's like very vintage Marshall sound.
Yeah, very plexy. My buddy Lou Rapoli, he makes those amps and they're awesome. But you always need some kind of attenuator because they're loud. So, but I would use a 100 watt and a 50 watt, and I would just attenuate them at a certain point, and one would be on for rhythms, and then I would kick on the second one for leads. And not only was it great on stage, but again, it's what this does all by itself.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about that was, I feel like music is such a personal and passionate thing if you allow it to be, because a lot of people chase it for the wrong reasons. But I'm so into playing, and I'm so into tone, I'm so into everything from how the string feels under my fingers. You know, that night there was a moment where my buddy came up to me, handed me a Nash Strat because we were going to do Little Wing or something, because it's always requested. I don't even want to do that song if I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, right.
And I was in a mode, I don't know if I want to do this.
Kills
And he
the
comes
last
at me.
idea I had for the show.
He comes at me with this Nash Strat that we tried at Soundcheck and it sounded amazing. And he goes, "Hey man, I think it was 10 years ago today that Stevie Ray Vaughan died in a helicopter. Here you go." And I put the guitar on and I was like, whew.
Yeah.
And and then I played one of probably the best versions of Little Wing I'd ever
Sure,
I'd
you
ever
were
played in my
feeling it,
life.
yeah.
And I was like, because I was emotional, you know? I think I sang like shit, but what came out of my fingers was like really, I thought, exceptional for that night. And then at the same time, there's another song that I watched the video of months later, and because when I improvise, again, I'm abducted and up here watching.
Sure.
And
You're zoned.
and then I had to rewind the video to learn a lick I did in the zone because I'd never done it before, and I'll never do it again.
You hadn't heard it before.
Yeah, it was one of those like, what? I was like, I love those moments.
Yeah,
and that's why we play guitar.
You
That's
go to
why-
that other place.
and that's why we have to change it up all the time. You have to change it up all the time.
Right.
The answer to one of those questions, I think it's Bill's studio, is your amp is a little less pre-gainy than the standard Brown Eye, isn't it?
Well, you have to gain options.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the highest gain is pretty close to the BE 100.
Yeah.
And then it comes down from that.
Yeah, because when I played this at one night and had it, like the master just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
It sounded best with the pre-gain back a notch.
Yes.
More Malcolm-y kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
But I mean, just the sonics of it sounded
Yeah.
better like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the master like about 5.
Yes.
But
That's what has
but a click back
Yeah.
on the pre-gain.
I had it because in the studio you can crank stuff
Yeah.
up. So I start at 5.
Yeah.
And then if the guy's like, "Wow, you're hitting the mic piece pretty hard," I'm like, too bad. No, then, kind of work with that. If I was any louder,
Suck
it
it,
probably
bitch.
That's
wouldn't
my
work.
problem.
Yeah.
Right? You're the guy that runs the mic pre.
Yeah.
Is there something called
Not my mic pre, man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I like the phasing thing. When I got 2 mics on your cabinet, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing any bottom end. Well,
Okay.
those 2 mics are out of phase. I don't think you know what you're. Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, oops.
I've never uttered the sentence "turn your guitar down" ever.
I love you.
I've told people to turn up and haven't been completely shocked.
Yeah.
I'm like, you probably play better.
Well, that's the thing, man.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I mean, you need them.
You need some
you want
organic
the band to sound
interaction.
great, get them to be able to play great,
Right.
and then deal with that.
Right.
The
Right.
analogy is do you want to drive a Ferrari through town when you can't take it out of first?
Right.
No.
No.
Turn your amp up. Or you can do the thing where you aim it away from the sound guy so he doesn't complain, but then, and sometimes when they do the Bruce Springsteen thing.
People come up and will be very cordial. Maybe if they know who you are or they've hired you for a particular reason,
Yeah.
and they want some input, and they'll ask you like, let's start that. Like, do I need to do this? Am I too loud? I'm like, you play exactly how you need to play the best you can play.
Well,
and
that's
then,
the
I
idea.
will deal with that.
Yeah.
Real sound man, right there.
Yeah.
Slow clap.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Golf clap.
Yeah.
You need performance.
I don't have a whiskey here to have Phil play, so it's his
Okay,
amp.
you know what the cool thing that I do in Frankenstein?
Yes.
Where I used to do it with the bar, but now I don't. So when it goes, wait. Okay, wait, I'll get it. So it's like, so this is one of the keyboard parts that goes, like, there's a climb, it goes.
That sounds perfect. Jesus Christ.
So when people, ow!
Yeah.
Dude, I got a gig!
Now he doesn't know where to go.
No.
Yeah.
And then I go back up, but then I don't use the low E string anymore. I end the song.
Right. There's no way to get it back.
It's such a great song.
That's so awesome.
That's so good. That was great. And you made the face of joy.
I always made the face of joy because I'm a joyful guy.
Cocaine's a powerful drug. Anyway,
Keep it away from the kids.
I mean, we do before the show kicks off. The amount of blow we do, it's shocking. Really.
Those were the
I
most
think in-
comments that I used to get when we first started doing Fred and Americana.
Yeah.
This guy's on cocaine.
yeah.
This guy's on cocaine.
Well, in Canada, they call it being on the ski team, don't they?
I never even heard that. I haven't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
I
it's just called being polite.
That's where no, that's just being polite. Just being friendly. Just being sociable.
I think we should have a show.
I think we should. Someone asked that earlier if Phil has thought about doing a show of his own. But I think there's a good chemistry. Like there's
I think
this
so,
bouncing
yeah.
the ball back and forth. It's good.
Yeah, it's
We're
good.
all born within the same, about probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just gonna put you on the spot now. Is there,
Yeah.
you have a fuzz box?
4
I can
inches
leave
above
with?
my knee. Different thing. Sorry.
Wait,
What?
I want to. You got a fuzz box I can leave with today, so I can check it out.
I have one in my car.
Okay, great.
You want? Okay,
but
so this
I heard
one,
a great one the other day. A session yesterday, and the drummer goes, because I go, how big is, and then he goes, about this big, and I'm like, and I was like, and then he goes, but I measure it from my asshole. Around the balls, and yeah, all right. I just thought that was ridiculously stupid funny. So I thought I'd share that today with you guys. And it was
So you
Dog
can-
Boy, the old drummer from the
Yeah,
Dogs.
that's not as good as mine. I mean, that one's way better than mine. I'm sorry. The 4 inches above my knee is just vulgar. That's creative. Mine's just vulgar.
And you can keep going, oh, it's this long, but I start measuring back. Right here.
Yeah, exactly. But that was on a cold day in Buffalo.
Is there a hardtail version of that?
Actually, this is the only one with the Bixby. The other ones are all hardtail.
Yeah.
All right.
And we've even talked about doing like a through.
Like a telly string
The one
through.
that I saw the glimpse of on TV did not appear to have binding. Or was it just
No, this is the only one with binding and these crazy inlays. The other ones are also rosewood
That
fingerboard.
one was P90s.
Yeah, and the green one, we can bring it in. It's here somewhere.
Oh, it's in. You got it out.
No, I think
That was that P90
it's right
one
behind the couch.
The
I
one
think.
you had on the last time.
last week, yeah, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so well, it's probably there's something. The point, yeah. So it comes with a humbucker.
This is a Framus, no
And
Scott.
the white one that I used on that clip for the video the other day.
I'm still
had two
laughing
P90s.
at the joke.
So we're already diving into two pickup guitars because I mean even myself I love the sound of a one pickup guitar. I'm a huge fan of Juniors, so that
Amen.
guitar is one of my favorite guitars ever. And here it is. Oh yeah, with the 1P90.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's a stop tailpiece and the stop bar with the tunematic bridge.
Actually, if you look at
And the
it's
neck is
almost
pretty
white
fat,
on
right?
there, but it's
See?
pretty pretty.
Yeah,
Gonna get the light
Aqua
there.
greeny.
Aqua greeny.
Met a guy.
Mint green with a
I don't know
little bit
what's
of
the-
a sonic blue poking through, but you can't really see
Like
that.
a used piece of gum.
Balsamic?
Really.
Did you say?
And this one,
There it is. That's the color.
there we go.
I got it.
Oh, thanks, man. So it comes with a P90
There it is.
and
You
or
got it. That's the
yeah,
color. Yeah.
and or a PX8, not and or but or a PX8, which is the Alnico 8 humbucker.
What's a PX stand for?
You know what? You just stumped me. I really tried to come up with something
4 inches
good.
above my knee.
It's about this long. Yeah. So you know, when you start with a company and you start talking about different pickup situations, you know, combinations, stuff like that. Stevie Salas is doing that too. He's exploring everything with his signature with
Is that
Framus.
an arcane pickup?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's an arcane.
Because I thought your arcane humbuckers had like
An X on
or
it.
something
Yes.
on it.
This was a prototype of the
Okay.
PX. No, actually, you know what? They had to change the face for gold for this guitar
Oh, okay.
because I handed him a PX Super 8 and
It's
had a-
cool look.
Yeah.
The X thing that.
The X is kinda
Because
cool.
it's kind of subtle.
Yeah.
It's not like
Well, you know what's really cool? I love that I became a guitar player that sells pickups to fans that
You're a hustler.
they want a little bit of mojo. But
Yeah.
I love it when, like, I got a picture this morning. Hey, man, here's your pickup in my guitar. I love that. They
Yeah.
send me a picture.
That's quite a compliment,
Not only does
yeah.
it sound great, but here's a picture. I think I love the personal touch, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
And when somebody, you know, and then when somebody emails and goes, hey, I ordered these pickups and they're taking a really long time, it's because they're hand wound, A, and B, sometimes my guy Rob gets swamped, right? So I'm the guy that, hey, Phil, we got this, you know, not a quite disgruntled guy,
Yeah.
but this guy's kind of getting antsy for his pickup. I'll be the guy that, hey, it's Phil.
So you write him back and just go, hey, you know
go-
what? Fuck off. You'll get him when you get him.
I'm like, hey, dude,
Yeah.
you know, it's taking a little longer than usual. I apologize. Can I send you a free Drills T-shirt?
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. So, and which they all say yes. So it's obviously they're fans. You
Sure,
know? But
right.
the cool thing about having your own band and doing a humongous tour with another band is being in the lobby of a hotel and someone asking you to sign a drill CD
That is
in
cool.
Spain.
In Spain.
That's pretty rad. You know,
And you're like, como?
I'm like, where the margarita? No. But yeah, we're tying it off, right? We're
Well, we could keep going. I actually am loose on the schedule today.
Arcane, George Lynch. Yes, George Lynch has a Screaming Demon. Or maybe it's not called that anymore. I think it can't be called that, right? Anyways, yeah, George Lynch is doing.
He's working
Arcane
with
pickup
Rob too?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very
And they're
nice.
coming- I actually talked to George about it. He's got a bunch of different models, like
So
7 or 8.
you now know there's going to be like 40 people go write you notes and go, hey, man, my pickups are taking a long time.
for free shirts.
Can I get a free shirt?
Yeah. You know that pickup I didn't order?
Yeah. I was
I get
going
a
to
shirt?
order one, but he said the wait time was too long.
Yeah, right?
Oh, let me send you a shirt. Actually, I'm sure anything with your
Is
name
the
on
new
it's worth checking
Full
out.
length record.
See? Okay, can I ask him something? I know it takes a while.
Yeah, of course.
I know
We're fine.
people always say more is better in this case as far as songs go, but we're making a documentary of shooting this record because there's like 12 world-class drummers on it, which is incredible.
At the same time.
They're all, actually one guy takes a verse, another guy takes a chorus, and then I just
It's
blend
only
it.
one song that was just really
Yeah.
long.
Well, it's a lot of dueling in the
A lot of dueling. They face each other. So
Don't
but-
run away.
Yeah, they can't really run to the edges.
Yeah.
no, you can't. But unless they're on wheels, you know the whole stage is on wheels. So
That happens.
I'm thinking, do I want to do a full length CD. I'm a champion of EPs. I love EPs
Yeah, I remember you saying
because
that,
it's
yeah.
20 minutes of music, and you can your drive is average 20 minutes, whether you're going to the gym or Starbucks
Right.
or the market. And then you listen to a whole CD, and then you're like, and then when you get back in, you either listen to it again or go to another CD. But I never listen to the end of a long CD because of the drive.
Well, that's the thing now. It's the modern paradigm, though. Also, like, when we were kids,
Short attention span.
someone got a record. We would all go to their house, and they'd
Right.
put the record on,
And look at the cover.
and we'd read the liner notes,
Yeah.
smoke things, and that's my phone. That's not my vibrator going off. Too much information. But the kids don't do that anymore.
No.
And you're exactly right. You got 20 minutes
Yeah.
between class in the
Yeah.
car.
Right.
Whatever.
So, what I'm asking you guys, everybody participating here, is would you prefer an EP of 6 or 7 songs that comes out at the same time as the documentary, and then maybe 2 months later, now that you're all like fried on this batch, you get another batch?
Right.
So 2 EPs in volume 1 and 2, or one full-length 12-song epic.
Are you asking me?
Oh,
What do you say?
there's a dead time here. Talk amongst yourselves.
Personally?
Yeah.
Already came your first reply already.
See? Mr. Guy with garbage on his shirt.
Yes.
Epic.
20 minutes.
Here you go.
He said
So you're getting both here, EP
yes,
and
20
LP.
minutes.
Yeah.
What can we get Drill's disc? There's 3 Drill's disc available at philxstore.com.
Here's what I'm basing my answer on. I purchased legit every Drill's EP.
Oh, really?
I'm
Oh, wow.
pissed that
I
they
love
end
you,
so
man.
quickly.
Oh, you're pissed that they're over so
Yes.
fast. You want more.
I want more.
Yeah. Well,
So what I
one
did-
is actually 17 minutes, and it's called Kick Your Ass in 17 minutes.
It's a bust. So what I did is I took them all and ripped them all into a USB key because my vehicle has a USB input
Nice.
to make a whole length record.
Nice.
So I just fixed it myself.
So on the last song, does it end like in the middle of the third verse because it was 17 minutes?
No, the end. Actually,
It's like, I said 17.
I
Done.
was off on that one that's called Kick Your Ass in 17 minutes. I was comping vocals. It's called, I don't even know what it's called. Brain aneurysm, something like that. I was comping vocals, and when I soloed my vocals,
It's amazing.
it sounded like I can almost hear this
Yeah.
You could hear
vein,
the aneurysm.
this
yeah.
vein
You
explode.
can hear either the mic or the mic preamp distort.
You can hear shit.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Popping out
I
of your
think,
head.
and my drummer walked in, Dogboy walked in at that moment, and he goes, "You gotta put that out." I'm like, "Put what out?" He goes, "These solo vocals."
It's this song called "Beautiful Apartment," right?
Yeah.
And which is one of my favorite
Oh,
songs.
cool. Thanks, man.
And later on the record, because it pops up on, I ripped it so it would be on the USB key in my vehicle,
Yeah.
and it says "brain aneurysm mix."
Right.
That like it comes up in
Right,
parentheses.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's
It's a
what I
bonus
think we
track.
ought to do.
But there's a comp. I took all these vocals on the entire CD, and where it sounds like my head's about to explode, and I just put them one after the other for about a minute and a half or 2 minutes, and that's what made it 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I think we ought to do, because Tom's got about 8 weeks off before he goes out on tour. You're in town working.
Yeah.
I think we should have a little dissection of a Drill's selection
Nice.
and sit here and play the tunes for the guys, because you own the intellectual property, so we can play it on the show without a bunch of lawyers coming on.
Yeah.
And then have you talk us through what happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would
I'm
you
down
be
with
up for that?
Yeah, man.
And
Sounds
then maybe
like a
play
fun
some of
thing.
the stuff here live, like here's the lick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and so guys, because I think a lot of
I watch
people.
the stuff like anybody else would watch it, and I would find that really. I would
Well,
watch it in a heartbeat.
I tell you 2 reasons why. One of which is I don't think enough people know about the Drills that should,
Well, thanks, man.
and 2, it would be fascinating for
It's
guys to
also
sit
amazing
here.
that there's actually a real rock and roll band too. That if you actually saw them live, and it was too loud, you'd be so happy.
Oh yeah, but I mean, so you probably have a selection of tracks that like you think would be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
There was something that happened during the session, or it was some weird rig you were using, or
Yeah.
this creative moment that happened by accident and we caught it. that sort of thing, and
Oh, yeah.
go through it and just talk about it. And then, because
And
the stuff you're playing is great. I've heard a limited amount of drill stuff, which I all thought was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
And I think maybe we should wave that flag a little more.
Yeah, let's do it.
Would you be up for that?
Absolutely.
Maybe in a couple weeks?
Yeah,
Well,
man,
I mean, for some people that have probably seen, because you guys play at the end of the the guitar demo video.
Yeah.
I
We've been doing
mean,
those
that's
too.
your band, right?
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
I mean, so imagine that.
Right.
I mean, those sound unbelievable,
It's crazy, right?
right? I know how you're doing that, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how good that sounds.
And it's funny.
Which means the
because-
band's great.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
and you can
'Cause,
hear
I mean,
everybody.
I know all about shit in, shit out, and
And it's
getting-
funny because
you know.
people go, Phil, I'm sorry, but Dan's a great bass player. I'm like, why are you sorry?
Yeah.
he's in the band because he's great.
Oh yeah, I want a guy that sucks. We're getting positive feedback about
Okay.
that. So
idea.
someone was asking, who's Tom going out with?
Alice in Chains.
The first tour there's two, right? You're doing two this year?
I love Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains, but there was somebody else?
Garbage.
No. And Garbage.
And
You're
Garbage.
doing the Garbage Reunion World Tour, right?
They're doing the 20th anniversary of their first record.
20th anniversary, right?
Wow.
The Garbage record with the pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20th anniversary of that.
Oh, nice.
I don't like to say that I'm doing that tour yet, though, because I have not
Inked it.
inked it.
Right.
But I mean,
You're hoping to.
I would love to do the tour, being that I did mix every show for like 9 years.
Since you're the only
Yeah,
sound man they've
right,
ever
so-
used. Right.
I've got the shirt.
Oh, well, then it's done.
I already got the
That's
shirt.
done.
You
got the fucking shirt?
But yes, I'm definitely doing Alice in Chains.
Oh,
this summer.
you know what's interesting is Butch Vig, he's releasing a vocal bundle for Pro Tools
Really?
with waves.
He's
Really?
already done it. It's out.
Well, guess what song is the video, the YouTube video demo song?
What?
Air Hockey Champion of the World.
It is?
It
But
is.
No, but it's because I watched it, and I would have known that, unless the one they put out for like release, the YouTube thing
Yeah.
from Waves.
But is it a demo or is it a release
The
video?
thing I watched was hugely long,
Okay.
like crazy, an hour-long thing.
Because I handed over stems of the band and all the vocal breakdowns, and
Yeah,
I
right.
think Ross Hogarth is the engineer who did the demo of it. So
It's one of the biggest guys in the business.
I got to
Yeah.
look up that. I got to look that up.
Well, I think we should wrap it up.
Let's
it's
wrap it.
10 to 2, so everybody say goodbye. Phil, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you,
It's so
Dan.
much fun to have you here.
Oh,
And I
it's great
appreciate
to
you
be
sharing
here
some
and
time with us.
chatting and catching up on stuff.
And this is the
Thank you
first
for coming.
65 amp show where we've not had a 65 amp on.
And thank you for that. I know that's,
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
a big thing for you.
No, I'm happy to do it because you guys are my friends and I like it and it's
This
all
show's-
good.
This show's about community anyway. It's what it's
Yeah.
always been about.
Yeah. If you want to play one of mine sometime, it'd be okay.
I wouldn't mind, man.
Just a little bit. Just lie and say you
Yeah,
like
man,
it.
let's do it.
Anyway, so
About those songs.
we'll figure out a time when Phil can come back and
Oh my
we can
What a pair.
we can drill down on the drills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
whatever. It was the shoes.
You want to update Java before we go real quick?
And I need to update my Java thing, apparently. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Tom Abraham, for driving all the way over from Las Vegas
Later, Lobos.
and making us sound good. And Haas, Tata in England. Bring a Ventura next time, Dan. I have one here, actually. There's one right back there. An iron? I don't know what that means. Okay. But anyway, excellent show. Covered a lot of ground. Much appreciated. Thank you, Skunk Dog. That's a name right there.
It is, man. Morning Sausage Band and Skunk Dog.
Skunk Dog. I played in a band in Atlanta for a minute called Skunk Butt.
They sound like two morning DJs, don't they?
I wouldn't. The image. of that
Tonight
shit.
at the So-and-So Lounge, Skunk Butt.
Nice.
65 fuzz. I do have some germaniums. This is like a tone bender type thing. I have a fuzz face type thing, and I have a range master
You
type
want the
thing.
one.
I want to check them out, man.
You want
Oh, yeah.
the one that I have.
You have the Rangemaster one.
What's the Rainmaster one?
The color boost.
Color Boost.
That's the one.
It's sweet.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good.
So sweet.
Yeah.
He found a batch of germaniums that are amazing.
Insane. And I use amp
Just
parts.
some-
I use amp parts. There's no little computer parts in
Yeah,
these. On
awesome.
a printed circuit
Which
board,
is
it's
amazing.
full-size caps and resistors.
When guys come up to me and go,
And
man,
Frank-
you wouldn't believe what's in this box. Everything's like this big. I'm like,
Yeah.
So it sounds this big.
It's like what's inside of my phone. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Right. No, I mean, it's the same parts that are in my amp. We literally just went to the bin and went, oh, I need a .022. Okay, here
Yeah,
it
It's
is.
the inside of the pedal. Because my friend wanted to see it.
Wow. Of course he wanted to see it so he could rip it off.
Right, totally. No, the circuit is public domain. It's
Yeah.
just a Rangemaster.
That's awesome.
But it's full size amp.
But you know
parts.
what? I think you made a good point saying he found some awesome germanium.
Well, the thing
Because-
about germanium is the wild card because germanium is not germanium. There's good germanium. Most of it's awful germanium,
Yeah.
boring generic germanium, and then there's that one that has that little X factor. Pardon the pun.
Nope.
That
Pun taken.
that makes the middle of your brain go happy.
Yeah.
You know, and that thing to it.
It's also that sound that like you hear in your head that you remember from when you used to listen to Boul
Right.
when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
like, that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. It's like Highway Star. That's it. It's
But even those guys, I mean, there's these tales of Hendrix going into Manny's and making the stock guys pull out 27 fuzz faces so he could find the one that he liked. Because even those were wildly varying
Yeah.
back then. And he'd play them all and then have a pile. These are the three favorites. And then he'd go back through them again and sit there for 4 hours finding one fuzz face that he liked.
Wow.
You know, so the ones that we got, I got a batch. I got 10 just to sample, and they were all great. And I thought, oh, this guy cherry picked these, right? And I called him and said, you know, hey, did you cherry pick these? He goes, no, I just grabbed a handful out of the thing. I went, really? How many of these do you have? He said, I got about 15,000 of them. And I said, cool, send me another 100, just to see if he was bullshitting about it.
Yeah.
Got another 100.
because the church
And they were
100 would
and they
be
were
a
like
time
all
commitment.
great again. And we got Frank involved in this project. He helped us do it because we were just so busy. He built the prototypes and everything.
Wow.
And then we added some functionality so you can use modern guitars. You know, because they don't take modern guitars into high gain amps really well. But if you cool them off and roll off some bass and stuff, they do. And so we got another 100. They were killer. And
Color bender.
the benders. This is like the Mark II
That
tone bender.
humbucker into the bender.
Yeah.
With the gain switches.
The which?
This
That
pedal.
humbucker that you have in
Yeah.
that
Right.
one with and the lower gain settings
Uh-huh.
that we have on that would be awesome.
So, I had a couple of questions here. We need more YouTube demos of 65 pedals. Yeah, we're cutting those shortly. Little Whiskey is in production now. You'll see it in stores.
Little whiskey.
It's a little 18 water. That's like a small. There's a prototype back there,
Right.
Nice.
and it's sort of a 2203 circuit. Only the clean channel has no master on it. So you can play louder clean than you can dirty
Right.
if you want to, which a lot of my Nashville guys are asking for
Yeah.
that, especially because the dirt is the verse.
Right.
And then the chorus is loud and proud, clean.
Right.
And but you can still take the clean channel and push it into just raw, open,
Nice.
power amp distortion.
That's awesome.
And it's got the same loop that Dave uses, the Steve Miller loop from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave helped me do the master volume on this. So this is a little bit of a co-project.
Yeah,
That's
the
cool.
person
Together.
asking about like the demos of the 65 pedals, like what made me a believer or want one is standing in front of the amp playing it. You
Right.
can't do that on a YouTube video. Like you can't. It just
And
makes
Tom's a
you
germanium-
way.
You really can't.
Tom's a
It's just-
germanium snob too, and I said, "Oh man, I got pedals. You can try one out." And he's like, "Oh, okay, sure, man."
To be nice.
Yeah, right.
But
And
then
then plugged in and just
he's a
like
fan.
wouldn't leave without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I made him give me one.
What's that?
Oh, isn't that adorable?
Yeah, it's a-
Oh, you make pedals too, isn't that? Oh, good for you. You lousy fuck. Everyone makes pedals. And I didn't want to make just pedals unless there was a reason to. And then this
Right.
batch of germanium, it's like, damn, they all sound great. And then if you build them, like a tone bender or a Rangemaster or a fuzz face was built with full-size amp
But yeah, but
parts.
they're also
That's
very much
awesome.
meant to be used the way people used to play.
Yeah.
The big wide open Marshall.
Right, but which is not a high
With your
gain
guitar
amp.
turned down until
Yeah.
you played a solo.
Right.
And that's hard for on a YouTube video to get that across.
Right.
Because it sounds
dynamic.
linear.
And to use
That dynamic doesn't
Guitar
happen.
goes down,
well,
compression kicks in on the video.
to use drug parlance, YouTube steps on your video pretty hard.
Yeah, well,
you
I mean,
know.
also like you ever notice on a YouTube video and the guy will go, "My God," you can't tell that it's loud. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can be playing, at 0.5 or be playing here,
Right.
depending where you set the.
Yeah,
output
a
level, but
compressor
you
compressor
can't
works
tell if
both
it's loud
ways.
or not.
Right.
But in the room, it's crushingly loud.
Yeah. Well, a compressor works both ways. You can make something small sound gigantic, and you can make
yeah.
something gigantic sound small.
Exactly.
So it
Videos with a wind, like a fan. So like your hair, like when you're playing, it's like whoa.
It's like someone asked for a demo of your attenuator, and you're like, "Did you
Just
try to
turn it
understand
down.
what you just asked for?"
right, exactly. Well, let's get out of here. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thanks again to Phil X and Frank Falbo and Tom Abraham. I appreciate you guys making the trip over. And Phil, we'll see you in a few weeks. Maybe
Yeah,
if
man,
we can
for
work it
sure.
out, we'll drill down on the drills.
We'll do the drill thing.
We'll do the drill down.
But I've had a blast, man. Thanks, guys. Everybody.
Thank you, man. It's so much fun. And again, it's such a pleasure to sit here and watch you enjoy yourself playing. There's so few guys that do that. I have a lot of guys on the show, and they're,
Well, remember, we all started this because it was fun.
Yeah.
that's right.
Because it's fun.
Right, exactly. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't say it out loud. Thank you for that. It's really
No
fun.
problem, man.
And we'll see you guys next week, which will be further into May, which means bills are due. But remember, Mother's Day on Sunday. Mother's Day on Sunday.
Don't forget. Woo!
Don't forget your mom, okay? All right, I'm Dr. Phil now. Whatever you do, don't forget your mom, all right? All right, love you fellas. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
There we go. And hang on a second. Let me click off the encoder. People can still...